Good Friday morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here on Wave Now. We are going live to a press conference for city leaders and Cisco CEO Kevin Houchin. He's going to be coming together with folks who helped out with the March 1st bridge rescue that happened on the Clark Memorial Bridge. Many of you may remember that semi-truck that was dangling off the bridge, how frightening that had to be. But Cisco's making a donation to honor the firefighters and the first responders who helped out in this. If you want to leave your thanks and well wishes to the firefighters for thanking them for their bravery, you can do that here on the stream. But we wanted to bring this press conference to you live.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's good. You want Kevin and Chief right here, yeah? Yep, okay. Yep. Go in there, I got you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you all so much for coming. We're here at the Louisville Fire Training Academy for a very special announcement. And this is the right place to make the announcement we're making, because what we're doing is celebrating the work that starts right here. That's the work of training Louisville firefighters. It's been 3 weeks now since people all around the world saw the heroism of Louisville firefighters, saw the heroism of firefighter Bryce Carden and his colleagues pull off an incredible rescue. 3 weeks ago today, when firefighter Bryce Carden was on the end of a cable being lowered down by other firefighters so he could reach the cab and the driver of a Cisco semi-truck and save the life of that driver who was literally dangling off the edge of the bridge over the Ohio River. What we all saw next was a firefighter who followed the training and working with that heroic driver, and soon they were both safe on solid ground. And what that showed us, what that showed the world, is what special training, what special people it takes to be a firefighter. You have to be a special type of person to be willing to put yourself in danger to rescue someone else. But that's only part of what a firefighter needs. You also need the skills, the knowledge, the teamwork, and the training to actually do the job and do it the right way, like we all saw 3 weeks ago today, and as in my job, I hear about and see every day. I am so proud and so proud of every one of our Louisville firefighters, and honored to serve alongside each and every one of them. They're led by an amazing fire chief, Brian O'Neill. Louisville Fire has more than 500 highly trained men and women who respond to nearly 50,000 incidents a year. That includes structure fires, along with all kinds of calls for assistance, including medical emergencies, hazardous materials, and more. Even things like semi-trucks dangling over the edges of bridges over the Ohio River. And there's good reason that our firefighters are known as Louisville's bravest. We see it all the time, and the world got to see it 3 weeks ago today. And that brings me to a special guest that we have joining us here today. As I mentioned, the truck that was over the bridge was a Cisco truck. Their driver was a Cisco driver who was heroically rescued by firefighter Carden. And joining us here today is Kevin Houchin and his team from Cisco. Kevin is the CEO of Cisco, which is based in Houston, Texas, and we're proud and honored to have him and his colleagues with us here today to make a very special announcement. So please join me in welcoming Kevin to give us that special announcement. Kevin?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be here in Louisville today. Did I do okay with that?
Yep.
Louisville,
Perfect.
close enough. Good afternoon. It's a privilege and an honor to be here with Mayor Greenberg and Fire Chief O'Neill. We are so proud and honored to thank the community for the heroics that were shown in Louisville that day. The entire community, we all watched in awe of the bravery, the professionalism, the skill as one of our trucks and one of our family members was dangling 75% off the bridge. I had the opportunity to actually see the in-cab video of the accident and see the view that our colleague had for quite a bit of time dangling over the Ohio River. And this could have ended so differently than it did. Call the professionalism, the skill, divine intervention, all the above. It is an absolute miracle what occurred that day. And we can't with words express the true gravity and significance of the appreciation that we have as a Cisco family for the amazing team that is behind me today. So today we're here to recognize the entire Louisville Fire Department because they worked as a team that day. It wasn't just Bryce, it was the entire team on the ground in the river, which I did not know. A team is in the river, prepared for the worst case scenario that thankfully did not occur. And of course, we're here to honor Bryce in his truly heroic bravery. And he is a hero for what he did that day, saving the life of one of our family members. We're also here to honor Phil Goller. You may not have heard Phil's story. Phil is a citizen. Phil was behind our truck on the bridge that day and saw the accident. And he was one of the very first to be out on the bridge, talking to our colleague, helping keep her calm, helping let her know that help was along the way, and just being a friendly voice to be able to speak to our colleague and help talk through what was going to happen until the true professionals arrived. So we thank Phil and we honor him for his contributions today. At Cisco, our purpose is connecting the world to share food and care for one another. Bunch of fancy words. What does that actually mean in straight talk English? That means bringing people together over food to celebrate some of life's truly special moments. Birthdays, anniversaries, family gatherings. What do all those things have in common? They have in common food, and we have the privilege to be in the business of helping bring that food to more than 700,000 customers around the world to again celebrate those moments. And I can't think of a more incredible moment than the opportunity to share food together. This is one of those times, and this is one of those days. So at Cisco, we know one of the best ways that we can show our appreciation is bring some food to the community together today. We have the opportunity and privilege to deliver over 1,500 pounds of food to two of the local fire departments here in Louisville to keep them in stock with all the good things they need to be able to do the great work that they do. And we'll have an opportunity as well to celebrate a meal behind us. You might be able to see the grill fired up right behind us. We're also donating gift cards to each and every one of the members of the community on the fire department team to enjoy local Cisco customers with their family to be able to go out and celebrate. And last but not least, we have the opportunity to present Mayor Greenberg and Chief O'Neill with a $20,000 check to go towards the annual fundraiser and gala that occurs every year. And it's just one small, tiny contribution towards that great cause. What's the price of a life worth? I don't know what is the price of a life worth? You can't compute it. You can't put a dollar amount behind it. But the $20,000 contribution, the food contribution to the two fire departments, as well as the meal we'll celebrate today, and the gift cards to support local Cisco customers is one very small gesture to communicate our appreciation. So before I turn it back over to the mayor, I just want to say again, my appreciation to the team. My uncle was a fire chief in Long Island, specifically Hicksville, New York. And he was a first responder on 9/11. I happen to be from the New York community, and it deeply moved me and many, many, many others what happened that day. When everyone else was running out of the buildings, the firefighters in New York were running into those burning buildings. And my uncle and the impact that had on him has had a tremendous impact on me and on my life. And I can't even begin to understand what this team behind us went through that day, the stress they must have felt. But we didn't see it, we didn't feel it. All we saw was a heroic, successful outcome. So again, to the team, we say thank you. So with that, I'll turn it back over to the mayor. Thank you again for your time. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much for your and your entire team at Cisco's generosity to the Louisville Fire Department. We really greatly appreciate it. And we share something in common. My grandfather was a former member of the New York City Fire Department. He had been long retired before 9/11, but I too grew up having a huge admiration for firefighters and understanding the bravery and the challenges that they deal with every day to keep everyone else safe. And that's one of the reasons why it is such an honor to have his colleagues at Louisville Metro Government, the 500 men and women of Louisville Fire. Well, speaking of Louisville Fire, we have a great leader, someone who has been with the department for a long time, who's a colleague to the folks that do this work every day, someone who has taught me so much over the past couple of years, someone who convinced me to try out the training right here at this site a few months ago to understand just a teeny little bit about the training that goes into becoming a firefighter. Professional training that serves our community so well by training these men and women to do their job. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our Chief of Louisville Fire, Brian O'Neill.
Thank you very much. It's very appropriate that we're down here at our training academy today because that's where this all starts. These folks, the men and women behind you that you see that were involved in that rescue, but it goes beyond them. These folks train every day that they come to work, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, they're coming to work. We put in a little bit of training every single day. And as I have known for over 23 years that we have the best fire department in the universe, the entire world got to see it 3 weeks ago when they were getting to put those skills to use. If you look around at our training tower or even at this new facility that's right behind you, this is where we practice things like that. What they did that day is something called a pickoff. They've done it on this tower right over here many times. The men and women are called upon to work together as a team every day. And that's what was happening that day. You know, a lot of people have seen one or two of the people that were involved in that rescue, but I encourage you, talk to all of them because it involved every single one of them. The men and women that were on the ropes, the ones that were on the trucks, the ones that were in the boats. So many different parts have to come together to make that successful. And it's that teamwork. And that's why we are so appreciative, too, of Cisco. So when we talk about team and family, and I love what he said about how food is what always brings us together, that's what makes the fire department so special. A firehouse is called a firehouse because we live there for 1/3 of our lives. And something that we do as a family every day is we cook meals together. We take care of each other. We feed each other. In fact, when I graduated from this academy 23 years ago, my first captain didn't ask, do you know how to lay a line? Do you know how to throw a ladder? He asked, do you know how to cook? Because you got to be able to cook for the crew. So we really, really appreciate what Cisco has done for us today to bring out and feed everybody in the department. Cisco is an important corporate partner with this community. Their location out in the South End, obviously their drivers coming through our city every day. This is an important part of that network, that family that makes Louisville the community that it is. So we thank them so much for this incredibly generous donation, looking out for our people. This is just an amazing experience. But please, think about the men and women of those companies, everything that they did that day to make sure, and this is something that they do every day. They stand ready at a moment's notice, even right now, to put their lives on the line for the people of this community. So thank you so much, but really all the thanks goes to them back there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. And Kevin, Chief, and I are happy to take any questions of the media before we start. All the firefighters start enjoying this gracious lunch provided by Cisco. Are there any? Yeah.
Chief, $20,000.
So that's a tremendous. I had no idea it was going to be that much. I'd heard there was going to be a donation. It's incredible, yeah. So something that we do every year with the banquet for our retirees, for anybody that receives any awards, we try to get together this big gala, and the fact that this extremely generous donation for them is it's moving, and it's going to really go a long way to help honor these exact people. So we're very grateful for that.
I wanted to ask to see if Mr. Gordon had any comments like that.
I just wanted to add, as Chief touched on, it takes a whole team, and everybody sees the one face on the news. And yeah, I was the guy that went over the rope, but without all the guys behind me and all the training that we've put in over time, it doesn't happen. So as you've seen, we ran as a well-oiled machine, and I contribute all the success to them. And I just want to throw a huge thank you to Cisco and the crew and everybody here. And it's awesome that they're taking care of us like that. And we'll continue to do what we need to do to get the job done. So thank you guys for coming out today.
Bryce, have you talked with the driver, Sydney Thomas, at all since the incident? I know it's a lot to take in.
Yes, I've talked to her, and she's trying to stay low key, as you can imagine, but she's doing well, and she's healing up from just, any traumatic event like that. Anybody is going to be a little bit traumatized. So she's doing well. She's spending time with family, and she wants to get back to being a driver. So it's good.
Talk over the phone. Was it a text? Did you say thank you again? Like, what was that like?
No, actually, Cisco had me down, and we were able to meet and talk, and it was good.
Here or
At Cisco? Yes.
Don't go too far, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
One more
Before the mayor, the police, the fire chief, and I would like to give Bryce a small token of our appreciation. So
That's awesome.
it does say the word hero on here. That is what Bryce is. So Bryce, we can't thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so
Thank
very
you,
much.
Kevin. Thank you. Sir, thank you, guys.
Thank you all very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Neil's got one more thing.
We have the big check.
That's right.
Yes. So we'd like to be able to present this with you as
Come on,
well.
Bryce. Come on. All you guys.
Come on in here.
Everyone's fine. I'm going to get the whole team here.
Yeah.
Are we good? Okay. Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I got it. No worries.
I didn't mean to cut off Chris.
Thank you.
Absolutely. My flag.
All right, folks, thanks so much for staying with me here on this stream. Want to say a big thank you to all of our first responders for all of their hard work that they do every single day. We are so proud of you. We appreciate you. You do not get the thanks that you deserve. So a big thank you to them. And Sean Bowdy was at today's press conference. He's going to have much more on the story coming up for us later here on Wave. I'm Myra Ansari. I'll see you on Wave News at 3 o'clock. Have a great day.